Sam & Max is not exactly a very popular franchise, despite having 5 video games, a series of comics, and even a TV show. You will think that will make them famous characters, but not really. They are not super obscure characters, but it's true that you can meet a lot of people that have never heard anything about these guys. The Telltale remasters have certainly been one of the major reasons why the franchise has become more well known in these last few years. There is also the VR game, but I don't think that one helped much. More people are giving these games and this franchise a try. We didn't have any sort of new Sam & Max content for 10 years. It kind of makes sense why the series wasn't talked about much. I cannot relate, but I can understand everybody else's point of view. With newly fresh Sam & Max content, even if they are remasters of all video games, it only makes sense that the series will finally call the attention on way more people. It makes sense why these characters have gathered more fame as of recent. There is absolutely no other reason. Don't look at the title of this video. Before we begin, I unfortunately have to briefly mention this. I know some Sam & Max fans get really mad when gay people relate to a cartoon dog and rabbit. The thing is, I don't really care about those opinions, and I will delete your comments if I see anything that I don't like, so just click off the video and let's not waste each other's time. Anyway, I think if there is something that people know about Sam & Max is that they are gay. Thanks to clips, video compilations, fan art, everyone seems to agree that these two are as married as Vern and Ernie. Even people that have never played the games or watched the show or anything at all. Most of us have agreed that they're gay. Okay, that's the end of the video. Sam & Max is one of those special cases when it comes to gay cartoon ships. I don't really like saying the word ship, but it is what it is. It's not one of those cases where there are two male characters that look at each other 3 times and everyone starts shipping them and ignore every single other character. And the two characters don't even have good chemistry or anything. They are just two guys and we're supposed to care. Sam & Max is different. Very different. Sam & Max have so many moments where they imply or even downright state these two like each other, where they very much act like a couple, where they say very gay things about each other overall. There are so many scenes like that there is a 25-minute compilation with almost 2 million views. Oh my god. So you might be asking, are they genuinely written to be a couple? Are they canon? Well, no. Don't click off the video. Sam & Max is one of those cases where straight men write a platonic friendship between two men and end up making them insanely gay. I do have to point out though, as a fellow romantic, I'm not saying that you can have deep platonic bonds, but I am saying that Sam & Max are super gay for each other for many reasons, not just because they are close friends. That was an aromantic observation due to the fact that platonic love is seen as inferior to romantic love and all that stuff. If you are a homophobe, shut up, this wasn't about you. In other cases, it's also clear that they were trying to do haha no homo jokes with them because the writers sometimes can be like that. I have many issues with the writing sometimes, especially with the Telltale games, but you all already know that. But we're not just here to say that they're gay because they're close friends or because they make homophobic jokes with them and we decide to reverse card them and make them actually gay. No, there is a lot to Sam & Max. Not even the characters, but the franchise overall. It's very, very silly and absurd, but it has a certain sweet side to it when it comes to the relationship of the two main characters. It even has some complexity from time to time. You can take many things they say as a joke, but not for that reason it loses meaning. I actually made a whole video about that already, but the audio sucks anyway. No matter how much they don't take seriously, when it comes to their relationship, they care about it very deeply. It's one of the things that is always consistent in the franchise. The thing about Sam & Max is that it doesn't matter if the creator or the people that work on the different adaptations never intended to actually make them a couple. They created something, presented it to the world, and we are the ones to interpret it. And it seems like a very popular interpretation of the relationship that, well, they are gay. And it's not based on nothing. It's not like we are making things up. There is a lot you can take with every Sam & Max piece of media. There are multiple running jokes in the franchise, and one of them is that Max constantly forgets that he doesn't like girls. Not as in he hates women. Don't let Telltale lie to you. Max does not hate women. The writers just think misogyny is funny, but he will never say that. Max is simply not attracted to women, and he's a character that usually forgets a lot of things, and that is just another thing that Sam needs to remind him of. So Max is canonically not straight. That's 100% a fact. That's not even an interpretation. He's not straight. Throughout the franchise, Max doesn't just seem to be attracted to Sam, but multiple male characters. Flame Paper is an obvious one. He loves that man. He also likes Hugh Bliss for most of season 1, and
there's the door to Myra's set. Let's get in there and liberate her literally captive audience.
Sam, forget the hostages. There's somebody famous. It's Hugh Bliss.
I don't care if you're gay for Hugh Bliss.
No.
It's okay. He's going to make mistakes sometimes. At least it helps me showcase how gay he is. Overall, he can make comments about multiple male characters that very much prove he likes men. But obviously the guy he's the gayest for is Sam. No doubt about it. What about Sam? Well, he doesn't have a running joke about forgetting how he's bi, but there are multiple moments where it's clear he likes women and other moments where it seems like he likes men. I know what some of you will say. If they seem attracted to other people, then it means that they're not together. Sam has dated women, like that ex he mentions in the lame VR game. And Steve Purcell has drawn him with a nameless dog girlfriend. Okay, so there is this cool thing called polycules. I can't get over the fact that Steve drew Sam and Max's families together during Thanksgiving, and the dog girl is also there. The girlfriend goes to a dinner with both Sam and Max's families. Cool polycule. But forget that for a second. Forget about proof or whatever. Here is the thing. No matter what Sam and Max story you're watching, there are things that will always remain as part of the status quo. Sam and Max are two guys, probably in their 30s, early 40s, maybe even 50s, I don't know. They live together. They spend every awakening moment together. They don't have a committed relationship with anyone else. And they have an insane amount of chemistry. Sam and Max have a really good dynamic. There is a reason why people like these characters. They are fun. They are a funny duo. They're a funny couple. Sam and Max are constantly stated to be perfect for each other. There is no one else in the world that would understand Max as well as Sam does, and vice versa. The two barely have arguments. They have an extremely healthy, even if cartoony, violent, committed relationship. It's okay, they don't mind the cartoon violence. Speaking of, in the cartoon show, not only are they shown getting married just in the first episode, but throughout the whole show there is a character called the Geek that is pretty much interpreted to be Sam and Max's adopted daughter, given the fact that they asked her to live with them, and we never see her biological parents around.
Is your mommy home?
This isn't my home, it's my lab. And my mommy didn't call you, I did.
And if for some reason you didn't fully believe that, they do in fact adopt a baby alligator in one episode, and they treat him like a son, pretty much raising him until adulthood. What's more shocking is that they never do the thing that a lot of cartoons do when they have two male characters raising a kid. You know, the whole, oh, this character is the dad and the other one is the uncle, because you know they're scared of audiences interpreting their relationship as gay. But no, in that episode they're both the dads. They were ahead of their time. Sam and Max are really good with kids overall, and it's a running joke from the fans that they adopt like hundreds of kids, and it feels totally in character for them. And that's the thing, it's always in character. Interpreting these two as a couple doesn't really change anything. They don't act differently. It wouldn't be out of character for them to be in a relationship. If anything, it feels out of character when they try to do no homo jokes with them. Are you really going to tell me that the two guys that live together and have no committed relationship aside from each other, guys that seem to have getting married at least 3 times, or at least dressed for a wedding picture for some reason, guys that have raised kids together, are you seriously saying that those guys will be like, oh, that's so weird that we match in a dating test? No, of course they wouldn't.
No! Make it stop!
The Telltale games get so many things wrong about these two. It drives me crazy. No, Telltale, Sam and Max wouldn't say edgy, offensive jokes. They literally canonically kill racists and Nazis. Going back to the topic, Sam and Max have thousands of scenes where they show or talk about how much they care about each other, and sure, you can say they're really good friends. And yeah, they are really good friends. They are also gay. I can show you millions of scenes where Sam and Max say something gay to each other, but that's not what this video is about. I can mention the big ones like, I'm not going back to that closet, not after all we have accomplished, no way Sam, I could never stop loving you, blah blah blah. Guys, are you ready?
I hope when we die, they put our hells close to each other.
It'd be like a slumber party that never ends.
There it
We
is!
should probably make a reservation pretty soon.
There it is! He said it! Oh my god, that line. I have seen that line being used outside of Sam and Max context multiple times, and it's the funniest, most insane thing that has ever happened related to this franchise. But you know, it's not just the cute and sweet lines that make this interpretation work, it's also the tragedy. More specifically, the events that happen in the Devil's Playhouse. The Devil's Playhouse is basically the closest Sam and Max will ever get to a tragic love story between the characters. It's not an exaggeration. If you've played this game, you know what I'm talking about. This game explores the possibility of Sam and Max losing each other over and over and over again. They fight hard to be together, but the world keeps pulling them apart. They have to deal with scenarios where they are alone for the first time in forever. They have to face the possibility of the other being dead, and it breaks them. It makes not only the characters, but also the game itself show us a side that we hadn't really seen before in this franchise. It amplifies the relationship, the emotions, the stakes at hand. I have talked about this game a lot, but the point is, it makes the message very, very clear. And you can see why it drives us all insane to this day. The game is basically a tragedy because, spoilers, it ends kind of sad. But it also subverts the tragedy and adds the absurd, silly twist that Sam and Max is known for. But it still makes the twist heartwarming in its own way. It's like Sam and Max always play with different tropes that we're all used to when it comes to fictional couples, but always add their own personal twist that makes their relationship very different from any other. Speaking of, I would like to add a little bit to that. Sam and Max's relationship is very, very unconventional. Even if you see them as a couple, they are a very unconventional couple. In many ways, they aren't that romantic. They don't show their affection in ways that you would expect. But I have always liked that about them. If anything, that makes them more interesting to me. In my own perspective, as an aromantic person, I like seeing relationships that don't follow the conventions and norms that you would expect. I like that Sam and Max have a committed relationship, but they don't really put a label to it. They are together, they are gay, they are married, but they're also not like any other couple you can think of. In fact, it's funny because many times when the question is asked if Sam and Max are together, the depths of the game say things like, oh, their bond goes beyond the world of dating and marriage. And it's like, I know you're trying to avoid answering because you are not trying to make them gay, but you also don't want to lose your gay audience. But basically what you're saying to me is that Sam and Max are gay, and they are in a committed relationship, just not a conventional one, because they're both A-spec too.
Sam, it's me! Max! Don't you know me? We're partners! We grew up together!
In many ways, there are plenty of reasons to interpret Sam and Max as a couple. It's not just the fans making things up, the franchise itself gives you a lot of reasons to see this perspective. But you know, do we really need to prove it? Do we really need to make a whole video to justify why people like to see these two as a couple? Do I need to explain the reasons why it makes sense why these two are gay? Can we just enjoy a silly cartoony franchise that feature a gay dog and bunny together? Cartoons are getting more LGBT plus representation, there is no doubt about that. There is still a long journey ahead of us, but it's good that we are starting to see more gay characters, trans characters, bi characters. Not much for A-specs, but I do think there is something that makes Sam and Max's case very interesting. Yes, they're not canonically a couple, but bear with me. First of all, Sam and Max are the two main characters. The franchise is entirely about these two characters interacting with the world around them. The gay couple doesn't come from a side character, or even the protagonist and a side character. It's the two main characters that show up at every second. Second of all, the franchise is very, very silly. It's very cartoony, it's nothing serious. Even when it's serious, it's still kind of silly. I think it's important to have gay characters everywhere. Not just in the serious shows, but also the funny ones, the cartoony ones. Furthermore, the relationship the two of them have is very healthy. As insane as it gets sometimes. It is a very loving relationship. It's just nice, you know? It's nice to see such a loving, committed relationship between two male characters. The relationship is never seen as an inconvenience for either of them. It's never something taken from granted. It's just nice. We don't need a video to quote-unquote confirm that Sam and Max are a couple. And unfortunately, I doubt that we are going to get a confirmation in canon Sam and Max content that they are indeed a couple. But isn't it just nice to see a cartoon dog and rabbit that really love each other as a couple? Isn't it nice that we have these two characters to get attached to see ourselves in, to mean something to us? Honestly, I think that's all that matters at the end of the day. And what's amazing about these two is that we have managed to make everyone know how much sense it makes that these two are gay and married. That doesn't happen with just any cartoon couple, believe me. Sure, you can have many people agree that Bert and Ernie are gay, that Toad and Frog are gay. But those are famous characters. Sam and Max are not famous. And yet the one common knowledge about them is that they are gay. One of the biggest reasons why Sam and Max had a huge comeback is because of the LGBT plus community. You can't deny that. It's because we saw those two funny guys and realized that they are kind of gay and started talking about it. And now more people have the slight acknowledgement that these two characters exist at all. And it's mostly because we made them relevant. So yeah, say whatever you want. They're not gay to you? The creator never made them gay? Sure, whatever. But we have.
You see? I told you I heard narration in here.
But to answer your question, yes, they're gay. Bye.